Hi, this is Georgi Grover, Realtor with RE/MAX Alliance, here with a brief overview of the housing market as of August 2025. I'm also wearing my new MSU Bobcats sweatshirt in honor of our older son Max, who just started at Bozeman. The 2025 housing market, my favorite analogy is that it's like bumper to bumper traffic. You know what it's like. You're sitting on the highway, just looking at a sea of red lights. All of a sudden, the red lights, the cars start to move and you're all excited and you go about half a mile and then you start to see those red lights again. And you're looking around, not really understanding why you started to go, why you started to stop. But it's just what it is. And that's what this market has been like this year. The sluggish market is based on a variety of conditions. First of all, sellers that have 3% mortgage rates are really having a hard time justifying making a move unless it's unavoidable. There are many things going on in the world making investors and home buyers a little nervous about making a big purchase. Multiple wars, an economy that's a little unpredictable, and tariffs and things like that. So the unpredictability of what's going on here and around the world is just making it contributing to a sluggish market. The Federal Reserve, that's the committee, not just Jerome Powell, is very data driven, and they'll make rate changes based on a set of data points. And with the changes that the administration makes, tariffs or whatever that is, it creates unpredictability. Each time that happens, the data has to start over again. The clock has to start over again. So we don't, unless that becomes more steady, we don't expect to see any big changes from the Federal Reserve anytime soon. We might see some dips. The Federal Reserve does meet 3 more times this year: September, October, and December. So our hope is that we'll see a little bit of movement, but nobody knows for sure. So what does that boil down to in our northern Colorado housing market? We do seem to be in a buyer's market right now. People always need to buy and sell. So the housing market is always active. It's just relative to what it has been. It's definitely been a little bit slower and more sluggish. So in July in Weld County, there were 368 homes that sold. That's both residential, detached, and attached, so your condos, your townhomes, duplexes, all combined, 368. Of those homes, 82% sold under asking price when you count in the concessions. And that's set. And the average concession for a residential detached was about $10,000, $7,000 for an attached. And in the same month, Larimer County, 462 homes sold, and of those, about 73% were sold for under asking price when you include the concessions. And the average concession amount for Larimer County for a detached home was about $7,500 and an attached home about $5,000. And this does not include, if you, we don't know that it doesn't account for homes that reduce their price. So we don't know if a home started at a higher price and then lowered it and sold it at that price. We're not counting that in for the percentage that sold under asking, under the original list price. So it's, that's a little daunting if you're a seller. So the most important thing is to understand that market and to price it right for today's market. In my experience, the best way to get the most for your money is to price it right, which has always been my statement. It's a hard pill to swallow if you've been watching home values increase, especially if you bought it very recently. But if your realtor is giving you data and comps and telling you what it's worth, it's just best to listen to that agent or give me a call and I can give you a CMA and give you a realistic idea of what your house is worth in today's market. The best way to get the most money for your home is to price it competitively. And in this market, that might be below market value or on the lower end of that. If you can get it out and attract the most buyers and people realize that this is a good deal and that you've got something special, you're more likely to get offers right out the gate. If it sits on the market you kind of then are on your back heels and you lose your advantage. So not great news for sellers right now, but on the flip side, most sellers turn around and become buyers. And so hopefully you take advantage of that position on the other side. So if you would like to know more about the housing market or this data, please give me a call. I would love to help. Georgi Grover at RE/MAX Alliance, 970-670-0246. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.